We're back in the corner with the radiator, and we've got some new data about Takakeisho. Yeah, it's time for a quick strike! Hello, welcome back to the Dohyo here on Mr. JWags channel. Oh, it has been a long journey this summer, but we are back in New York, where we belong, in the corner with the radiator. I think we're going to start expanding the quick strikes a little bit. Now, normally the quick strikes we just do mid-basho as a sort of tapa-size amuse-bouche of an episode to keep us hungry for more sumo. But I've been thinking, what if we do some quick strikes outside of the basho? What? So I just ran a real cool data set about Takakeisho. I'm going to try to explain it and give you all the data in under 5 minutes starting now. Let's see if we can do this. Now, I do have a working theory that wrestlers who are a little bit heavier of carriage, or wrestlers who are a bit older, tend to do a little bit better in the cold weather months and a little bit worse in the hot weather months. Now, I was coming close to a unified theory on that, and then Ichinojo went ahead and won Nagoya last year, so. But I do find that there are definitely certain wrestlers that are affected by the calendar. Primarily, Ozeki Takakeisho. Now, I've always had a theory with Takakeisho. It just seems he tends to do better in the cold weather months and not quite as good in the hot months, usually because I tend to do like year-end lists, and Takakeisho always tends to do very well on those year-end lists because he does very well in the winter months. But how well? Let's check the stats. And one of the reasons I had to do this video right now before the November basho, well, first of all, there's possible Yokozuna promotions in the air, but also he has had exactly 40 basho in the top division. So with stunning powers of symmetry, there are 300 matches in the warm months and 300 matches in the cold months. And if we look at the stats, well, they're pretty clear. Takakeisho does overwhelmingly better in the cold months. Now, if we're looking at just total record, we will see 139 wins for Takakeisho in the warm months, but 190 wins in the cold months. Now, when it comes to losses, it's about the same for hot weather, cold weather, but the biggest change seems to be the Kyujo. 65 Kyujo matches in the warm months and only 16 in the cold weather months. So basically, the difference between Takakeisho in the cold weather months and the hot weather months seems to be that in the cold weather months, he has taken 50 matches of Kyujo and turned them all into wins. Now, as we can see, Takakeisho, even in the warm months, when he's in the ring, has an almost 60% winning percentage, but when you add the Kyujo in, over 20% Kyujo in the warm months, he only has a 46.3 win percentage. Now, contrast this to the cold months, where he has a 63.3% win percentage, including Kyujo, but look, only a 5% Kyujo rate in the cold months, so that's basically the same as his wins in the ring percentage of just about 67%. Now, I thought there might be some sort of variation here, but if you look straight down the chart, every single factor favors Takakeisho in the cold weather. 2 special prizes in the warm months to 6 special prizes in the cold months, 0 Kinboshi in the warm months versus 3 in the cold weather months. He has 7, almost 8 Kyujo. I mean, he went Kyujo in 7 total tournaments, but in May of 2019, during his Ozeki debut, as some of us remember, he went Kyujo twice in the same tournament. So depending on how you figure it out, 7 or 8 Kyujo in the warm months, versus 2 Kyujo in the cold weather months. 2 Jun Yusho versus 6, and the big one, no Yusho in the warm weather months. All of them in the cold weather months. So, what does this mean? We may be underrating Takakeisho. Hard to do for an Ozeki, but I think he might be a little bit underrated with all the new hotness seems to be entering the Ozeki conversation. This guy's been in Makuuchi for 7 years. He's been in Ozeki almost 4 years at this point. In fact, if he gets a winning record in this November tournament, he will definitely be in Ozeki for at least 4 years. He has been Kataban 8 times, but has fought his way back every time, and only once, right at the beginning of his Ozeki career, did he ever drop down even to Ozeki Wake, which he came back strong from. That plus 8 Jun Yusho and 4 Yusho, he is clearly in the top echelon of modern Ozeki who were not promoted to Yokozuna. In fact, if we look at his career, you can say that he's a very consistent rikishi when he actually takes the ring. He's only had 2 tournaments in his entire Makuuchi career where he got double-digit losses without going Kyujo, and those both happened very early in his career, in his first tournament up in the Joy, and then the year later when he got his first tournament up in the Sanyaku. But yeah, Takakeisho had his debut in 2017 and was an Ozeki in 2019. Pretty impressive. Now, the other question is, what does this tell us about his possible chances for promotion through the next couple tournaments? Well, I think it's very, very good. He has never won a U-show in September. He got a June U-show before, and then a U-show right after, but it wasn't quite enough for promotion. But this time, he's got the September U-show. So he has set himself up at the very beginning of his good months for incredible success. Now, when you get data like this, you always have to figure out, like, is it just the cold months? It could be he fights just better in Tokyo, and that half of the year has 2 tournaments in Tokyo as opposed to 2 on the road. Could be that too. But I do believe we have enough data. 600 matches isn't a lot for statistics, but for sumo, it's a lot. I think we have enough data to draw a definite conclusion between these 2 data points. Takakeisho does better in the cold months, and this sets him up for an incredible amount of success for the next 2 tournaments. And we got it in under 5 minutes. Yes! Thank you for joining us here for this quick strike. Stay tuned to the channel because we are going to be doing a whole bunch of coverage for the next basho, including our Boulder predictions. And we will have more quick strikes mid-basho, which you are not going to want to miss. So, stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy, and I will see you next time on the Dohyo.